So tonight in the news, companies will now be required to disclose the beneficial owners of their institutions following the decoupling of the Registry of Companies from the Registrar General's Department. The decoupling under the new Companies Act is expected to facilitate business operations and improve quality of service. There is more in this report.
Under the old Companies Law, the Registrar General's Department was responsible for the registration of companies, business names, marriages, adoptions and property rights, among others. This was deemed as overwhelming and affected the quality of service of the institution. However, with the separation, the Registrar of Companies will now focus solely on the registration and other needs of businesses. Constance Adumatichi is the head of communications at the Registrar General's Department.
We'll be able to, if we say we are doing registration within 2 days or 3 days, we will have to stick to those timelines and all that. And with that one too, the business people themselves or the companies, directors and all those things, their responsibilities and their obligations, they will now, now you can't just appoint anybody as a company secretary. There are also things that they will have to do. The directors, their roles and all those things will have to be strengthened. So we'll have a more, and another important or exciting aspect of it is that there's the issue of inclusion of beneficial ownership, where now companies will have to disclose who the actual owners or who are the beneficial owners of a particular company. So it's going to provide transparency, it's going to provide efficiency.
The head of communications for the Registrar General's Department also added the process of decoupling will be completed within a 2-year time frame.
The Act says that we are to, the implementation is supposed to take effect 2 years after. Right now, we are within the transition period. The law has been passed about 2 months ago, and so the issue of putting all other things in place, we have to find office location for the new office of the Registrar of Companies. We have to also streamline the forms. We have to update the system to take the new requirements and all that. So a number of things will have to take place, and that's why the 2-year time frame has been set for us to be able to put ourselves together.
For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklo reporting.
The Bank of Ghana has launched new guidelines that would help better regulate trading and purchase of short-term government securities in the country. The manual was launched at the ongoing IMF World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C. And Joy Business's George Jaffe has details.
The report launched brought together central bank governors in Africa, some global bank managing directors, international capital market players, as well as officials from the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance Ghana, and some players in the local market. Giving a brief about the guideline, Head of Financial Markets at the Bank of Ghana, Stephen Opata, said they should provide the required legal protection for every investor that participates in our local capital market.
This is a framework that will provide more legal clarity to those who want to use repos to get short-term funding. So this is a framework that clarifies the legality involved in that, so that there are no defaults. So it protects the lender from things like defaults, because as I did mention, they provide collateral, eligible collateral, and usually it should be liquid collateral, so that if for any reason they take the cash and they are not able to repay, then the person who has bought the collateral can just sell the collateral.
Speaking at the same event, First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afari, noted that this should position the country as having a well-developed market for the required investment.
The adoption of these guidelines, I believe, will not only ensure legal certainty and enforceability, but will also improve the market transparency, liquidity, and participation. In conjunction with the development of these guidelines, Ghana is in the process of getting a corporate insolvency bill passed, and the Bank of Ghana will issue a notice to clarify the eligibility of netting arrangements under the Current Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institution Act. This will make Ghana only the 3rd netting positive jurisdiction in Africa, and we look forward to the positive effect this will have on our economy.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. ERNEST ADDISON, who officially launched the guidelines, noted that it couldn't have come at a better time.
In Ghana, repos and reverse repos serve as effective instruments for the conduct of monetary policy operations by the central bank. As at the end of August 2019, the stock of repos and reverse repos outstanding between the Bank of Ghana and the commercial banks was equivalent to $350 million US. When properly structured, repos are effective vehicles for the monetary policy transmission process and can serve as a vehicle through which the central bank can act more swiftly as a lender of last resort during periods of market stress.
Speaking to Joy Business after the launch, Deputy Managing Director of Fidelity Bank, Sam Edu, said this should help improve liquidity in the banking sector.
I couldn't agree more. I think if you look at a bank like ours, we hold about 3 billion or in excess of 3 billion in government securities. Up until today, I could only use that to borrow overnight. Now, this is providing me a framework that allows me to borrow using the same securities for slightly longer than overnight. And I think also corporates stand to benefit if corporates can use their or deploy their excess liquidity into government securities and then use that as a basis to.
Meanwhile, the Bank of Ghana says its new guidelines on the purchase of government securities would help stabilize the cedi and possibly reduce cost of credit. The manual, as we have been reporting, was launched at the ongoing annual IMF World Bank meetings and is expected to put in place the legal framework that would protect investors that participate in our market. Let's hear from Head of Financial Markets at the Bank of Ghana, Stephen Opata.
This is a framework that will provide more legal clarity to those who want to use repos to get short-term funding. So this is a framework that clarifies the legality involved in that so that there are no defaults. So it protects the lender from things like defaults. Because as I did mention, they provide collateral, eligible collateral, and usually it should be liquid collateral, so that if for any reason they take the cash and they are not able to repay, then the person who has bought the collateral can just sell the collateral.
Why has this become very necessary on the part of the Bank of Ghana? Because before this, you were still having repo deals and arrangement going on. Is it because you want to lift it up to more of international standards or to attract more investors?
Yes, we want to globally in very developed markets. They do repos under a Global Master Repurchase Agreement framework, because it's internationally accepted and the rules are very clear. So we want to open our market for more liquidity to attract not just local investors but foreign investors, to create liquidity not just in the short-term money markets but across the entire bond market, and as you rightly said, and even extend it to the equities market. By equities, I'm talking about the stock exchange. So it's a matter of liquidity to make our financial markets more liquid but safe, so that we can attract investors on a cheaper cost of funding. So it's also about cost of funding. We want to translate this so that government is able to borrow at a lower rate because there's legal certainty. Financial institutions are also able to get short-term cash at a lower rate because there's legal certainty. So this is a significant event for our markets, and we expect all those who want to be part to come.
Well, away from that, EcoBank Ghana is seeking to deepen the collaboration with the multimedia group to improve the bank's financial inclusion agenda through its digital platform. The bank on Friday paid a courtesy call on the management of multimedia to outline plans for next year. Regional Head of Communication and Marketing at EcoBank Ghana, Rita Chega, reiterated the important role multimedia plays in driving key initiatives.
EcoBank says it recognizes the work of Multimedia Group through its various platforms in disseminating information to the people, hence the need for the collaboration to build a more vibrant agenda. Regional Head of Communication and Marketing at Ecobank, Rita Chega, reiterated the importance of multimedia channels in championing important initiatives such as the financial inclusion agenda and fighting against non-communicable diseases in communities where Ecobank operates.
For Ecobank, there's always been a lot of interest around financial inclusion, which for us is a key agenda, and very recently non-communicable diseases as well. And we find in you a very apt partner, and you've helped us to send a lot of the information down, and for that we're quite grateful. We also felt that, even on our business side, you continue to do business with us. Your account continues to remain active, which again is very nice. So then it shows that we have a very symbiotic relationship. It is not lopsided at all.
Other initiatives the bank introduced to the group is the war against non-communicable diseases, which the bank is embarking on as part of its corporate social responsibility. Chief Operations Officer of Multimedia in charge of radio and digital media, Ken Ansah, expressed gratitude to the bank for the growing business relationship and commitment of both parties to support each other's business.
We've been having this business relationship with you for years, and we are happy that we see it growing year on year. And when we say growing, we are not necessarily talking about revenues. We are talking about the depth of the relationship, all the way from the MD, your MD, and all the key people in the bank, and even beyond the bank itself and into other things that you do. So it's good to have you come down to see us and to have this conversation. And as I said, we also value it, so we felt, look, all our key people who are in this system and in the process of serving you should also be here. So whatever you tell us, we can all, listen at a go and take it from.
The team from Ecobank included the Regional Head of Marketing and Communications, Rita Chega, Daniel Kasati, and Ethel Adama of the Communication Department of Ecobank Ghana.
Now, the commencement of commercial flights to the Upper West Regional Capital this week is expected to open up the area to business and tourists. The flight schedule is already proving to be vital for travelers in Burkina Faso and some surrounding communities who otherwise would have had to commute long journeys by road to Tamale before making a connection. There's more in this report from my colleague Rafiq Salam.
Tuesday, October 15, was truly a historic day for the people of the Upper West region as they finally witnessed the resumption of commercial flights to the Wa Airport after a brief spell in 1998 by the now defunct domestic carrier Air Shuttle. Tuesday's inaugural flight, operated by Africa World Airline, flew 49 passengers with the Embraer 145, piloted by 29-year-old indigene of the region, Victor Poole. The passengers and crew were treated to a spectacular display by the Ghana National Fire Service amidst cultural performance and beautiful speeches.
We will not only going to dry our clothes when there is sunshine, but again, we will continue to support government in creating air transport access within Ghana and beyond. We believe in the potential of Wa market, and we believe that with the support of our stakeholders and our travel agencies, very soon we are going to commence a daily flight to Wa.
I am of the view that time is money. So patronage of Africa World Airlines services will result in quicker business transaction and ultimately success for more profit.
The inaugural ceremony, however, meant that the concentration was on the dignitaries who had been invited from Accra, while the passengers who paid their airfare were ignored. Those passengers had to walk about 800 meters from the plane to the terminal building, where they waited for about 30 minutes for their luggage to be pulled in slowly on a push truck. Authorities have however explained that bus belonging to the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council which was used to transport the dignitaries on the inaugural flight, will for the meantime be available to passengers, whilst a three-wheeler mini truck will eventually replace the push truck. The shifting of the luggage of arriving passengers through a window created in the arrival hall, though, will remain a part of the experience for a while. So, though observant citizens are concerned, not worried, they have joined spectators in the Upper West region to release their newfound status as the latest region to have an operational airport. Rafiq Salam, a citizen and spectator, reporting for JoyNews.
For us to kickstart the program, journalists will also.
You're watching Business Live. In other news tonight, Wilmar Africa Limited, dealers in fried oil cooking oil, have launched a cooking competition reality show dubbed Fried Oil Enriching Lives. The general manager of Wilmar Limited, Kwame Riafi, noted that the move is to help participants establish quality food businesses.
The Fried Oil Enriching Lives is a cooking reality show which will see 10 cooks competing for an ultimate prize of 100,000 Ghana cedis. The competition, which will be aired on TV, is to make Wilmar Africa Limited connect to all their consumers. The participants were selected through auditions in Kumasi, Tamale, and Accra. The 3-month competition will also offer viewers an opportunity to vote for their best cook. Kwame Riafi is the general manager of Wilmar Africa Limited.
The primary objective is to give back to society, to try and expand the frontiers of cooking and eating in Ghana beyond just the basic rudimentary of how foods are cooked. We believe apart from nurturing talent, it will also give the general public some general education about how to improve our culinary skills nationwide. So it has the primary objective of nurturing talent, but I think it will carry the whole consumers across Ghana and give some education about good culinary practice and good recipes, good menus that can enrich our food habits in Ghana.
He further stated that aside from helping the participants grow their expertise, the event will position them to take up any entrepreneurial challenge in the culinary industry.
Both the judges and the contestants will pay great focus on our indigenous local culinary practices that are almost getting extinct if you don't take care. So it's basically to try and unearth them, bring them up, and internationalize them, take them from the primary level to a level that can be presented internationally as well. So that is also one of our main objectives.
In other news tonight, the Cashew Industry Association of Ghana has dismissed suggestions blaming the reduction of prices of raw cashew nuts this year on the senior minister Yao Osafumafo's statements made at a ceremony in March this year. According to its executive secretary, AIRLINE, the statement that government will not allow cashew buyers to export raw cashew did not have any effect on the low pricing of the commodity. Speaking to JoyNews in Wenchi, AIRLINE explained cashew nut buyers from India were reluctant to come down to Ghana to purchase the commodity due to elections in that country. Nesta Kafui Ajuma filed the following report from Wenchi in the Bono region.
This year, the price of raw cashew nuts per kilo has dropped from 8 Ghana cedis to as low as 2 Ghana cedis and even 1 Ghana cedis in some parts of Bono Ahafo and Bono East regions. While some blame it on wrong policy direction, the Cashew Industry Association of Ghana believes it is misleading.
It is very true that this year the price of cashew was very low, all-time low. And from our point of view, this problem has not been created by anybody in the country, like how some farmers or some people are saying. But I'll say that these were factors that were beyond this country.
The Executive Secretary of the Cashew Industry Association of Ghana, AIRLINE Addison, further said that even though the price of cashew nuts has been very low this year, farmers have sold all their produce. He consequently challenged anyone who still has the commodity available to come out.
As I speak now, there is nobody who has cashew. This is the first time that all cashews have been sold in this country. In fact, yesterday I had a call from somebody outside the country. I mean, it's these Indians, and the person is looking for 25,000 tons of cashew. So, like you are saying, I also heard somewhere from Banda also. If it is true that they have cashew, we are looking for over 30,000 tons of cashew. If they have it, they should contact me, the SIAC. They should contact SIAC immediately. We'll come and pick all the cashew that they have.
The CIAG, according to AIRLINE Addison, is currently working to introduce cashew farmers to the cultivation of a special breed of ginger and turmeric in their farms to reduce over-reliance on the cashew.
All right, that's Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. There's more news, as always, as we head into the weekend on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Do stay tuned to JoyNews.